Excellent. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about ditch the sugar cravings. We're going to add a little bit about the liver because he's important too. And we're going to kind of jam right through this information. You're going to have this stuff to go back and look on. I'll give you guys a PDF and you can listen to the recording as well. So here we go. If you have any questions, just feel free to put them into the question box. I'll monitor that as we go on. So here we go. All right. Ditching the sugar cravings. So welcome. My name is Bonnie Kissinger. I am a certified health coach and yoga teacher. I've been doing this stuff for 10 plus years, triathlon coach. I'm here to empower you to make healthier choices, regardless if you're just starting out or if you really know what you're doing in the clean eating. I think that there's always things to do. I'm learning stuff all the time, and I generally eat pretty clean all the time. So one of the things that I hear all the time that I work with my health coaching clients is that they think that cravings are a display of lack of willpower. And later on, I want to talk to you guys about how we crave things because of nutrition deficiencies, not necessarily because we have a lack of willpower. So that should empower you to identify what you're deficient in or what's out of balance. And that makes ditching the sugar cravings kind of easier with that change in perception. So I have been helping folks get healthier for years. I love it. And I'm going to share my experience with being a busy mom, triathlete, how to get this stuff done without breaking the bank or driving yourself crazy or having a nanny or maid at home. So here we go. Let's talk about sugar. Most people don't realize that sugar is in everything. Did you guys actually know that sugar is in bread? It makes some of the stuff that they put in bread taste better. That's a lot of the reason why we use sugar. It's just to make things better because of all the other stuff that is put in there. So sugar is actually considered a toxin. While we do need sugar to function, all of our cells work off of sugar, glycogen. Too much sugar in the blood and in your tissues and everywhere really can wreak havoc with blood sugar imbalances, cause fatigue. We know that the children nowadays, what's the statistic? 1 in 3, 1 in 4 children get type 2 diabetes. And with type 2 diabetes, you're automatically going to get heart disease. And if they're getting it when they're a child, their body is already completely run down. Imagine what they're going to be like when they're 60. So this is an epidemic. This topic about sugar is very, very important. So here we go. I found this stuff kind of fun. Starbucks. I was completely addicted to Starbucks for years and years and years. I think it was my binky from being in the aviation world and having a high stressful job. I always had my Starbucks cup. But check out how much sugar is in like the lattes and the frappuccinos. 52 grams of sugar. A teaspoon has 4 grams of sugar in it. So that's an awful lot of sugar. That's like spooning 12 teaspoons of sugar just straight into your mouth, let alone even thinking about the calories. No wonder we have teeth problems. Sugar is everywhere. We've already talked about that. It's just everywhere. And you know, this whole Western culture is very sweet orientated. So they put sugar in everything. Look at our kids, how we're advertising sweet to sugar, soda's sweet, sweetened tea, everything's very sweet, while sugar or sweet is only one of the 5 tastes. So very interesting. I mentioned before that ditching sugar isn't just about willpower. A lot of the times we are craving or wanting sugar to, yes, deal with the habitual intake of sugar. We get kind of used to it, and so our body wants that high. Nutritional deficiencies can cause sugar cravings. Your liver not working well, not being clean, not operating very well can also cause sugar cravings, because if your liver's not working well, your body says, well, hey, I need more sugar. Your liver's not doing it. So then you need more sugar in order to feel better, but we all know that sugar doesn't last very long. Stress. Stress can trigger sugar outbreaks, kind of like acne. And lack of self-love, taking care of ourselves, can kind of lead us down wanting more sugar. Sugar, you can think the same thing like, if you've seen Breaking Bad or stuff like that, where the cocaine addict or the crack babies, they really need it. And at a certain point in time, their body's wired for it. And that's how they end up feeling good. It doesn't last very long. But sugar is the same mechanism as any addiction. This doctor posts some interesting facts about sugar consumption. In 1700, the average person consumed about 4 pounds per year. So that is only one bag of sugar. One bag is about 4 pounds. In 1800, look how much it went up, 18 pounds. The 1900s, 90 pounds. It's going up exponentially. And then 2009, a whopping 180 pounds, 50% of this. That's insane, really, quite insane. Okay, sugar occurs naturally in all foods. Fruits have fructose. Honey is a natural sugar. There's lots of natural sugars. What we're really talking about here is the refined sugars that depletes the body of its own minerals. When we eat refined sugar, just like refined bread or refined anything, our body has to add stuff to the food that we're consuming in order for it to process it and utilize it. That's one component of how sugar hurts us. The other component is what this does to our insulin, our blood sugar regulation, etc., etc. The processed sugar causes inflammation. So you can see how this kind of just really tears the body down in so many different ways. When we consume sugar, we already know this, that it has a negative impact in blood sugar. It's a huge spike. It skyrockets. And the system that's controlling this blood sugar, the insulin, the adipose tissue, the fat tissue, all of this stuff, you just can't run the system constantly all the time and not expect any negative repercussions. It's just like a car. If you ran out of gas or ran out of oil, the system will break down. And so that's what we experience with the type 2 diabetes, the pancreas and whatnot, not able to deal, and things just kind of get worn down. Carbs. When I'm working with my health coaching clients and I hear that carbs are bad, it just kind of, I wish that we were a little more educated here to understand exactly what carbs are. Fruits and vegetables are carbs, but you get more from fruits and vegetables than carbs, just like you get more from meat than just protein. You can get protein from more than just flesh and animal. So our categorization of foods is kind of off, and our understanding has us in this silly thinking of, we don't need any salt. Salt is bad. And, that's not true. That we're finally turning around the no fat thing. You need fat. It's just which fats we need. So carbs, we need carbs. It's pretty well known that, the no carb diets aren't good long term for sure. Short term, maybe you gain some, goals, but you get all the phytonutrients or plant nutrients from your fruits and vegetables. So we need carbs. A simple carb, though, is a highly processed, refined sugar with few minerals and vitamins. It's been so processed and stripped down. So we're talking about white bread, white rice, donuts, white pasta, all of that stuff. It has no nutritional value, and ingesting it wreaks havoc on the body. It really is a double whammy. It's not just no nutrients. Your body has to deal with it. It still needs the stuff that it needs, so it's telling you it's still hungry. It just really short wires the whole system. The sugar rush you get followed by the crash is, it's hard on the body, but also the effect after that, because you feel bad, so you get more sugar, and it's just this vicious cycle that we get into. And it's becoming, like the fat adapted world with the athletes and whatnot to get away from those things as well, as far as, high sugar things. Um, in my experience, once I get away from the goos and the high sugar things, I don't get so much GI distress. So it's kind of interesting how we can take this cleaning idea into our training as well. Sugar feeds cancer cells and has been connected with the development of breast cancer, ovarian, prostate, rectum. You can read. They're proving that sugar feeds cancer. Sugar causes inflammation. Sugar makes you more acidic. If you haven't educated yourself or heard about, your pH, your body has to maintain a certain pH. And the food that we eat leaves a metabolic waste that leaves us either more acidic or less acidic. And we want to be pretty close to neutral. All fruits and vegetables, for the most part, are very basic and help to alkaline us, which is good because most of the time we are basic. All animal, pharmaceutical, alcohol, smoking, pharmaceuticals, I already said that, drugs, all of that stuff, stress. Growing a baby even is very stressful and can leave you more acidic. That whole process kind of breaks down our body and we end up with issues, kind of just where the inflammation or we were susceptible, and so we get different issues. Okay, if you don't understand yet, sugar is not your friend. High risk of cancer. They're thinking now that it's leading to a leaky gut. When my son, I'll tell you a short little story, is quite interesting. It was a long year process when my youngest son, Cole, was born. He was allergic to everything. He had silent GERD. He would stop breathing. He'd turn gray. It was craziness. And it ended up being food allergies. And they wanted us to put him on this formula. And, well, that was like 10 years ago. The formula is 24% sugar to counteract how awful the stuff tasted. And it still tasted foul. So can you imagine giving a baby 24% sugar for its diet? Completely insane. And then we wonder why our kids are wired to want sugar, why they're becoming diabetic, why they have a shorter life expectancy than we do. Our children have a shorter life expectancy than we do. That's very scary. So you can read through these, kind of what they're finding sugar links to. And, some of this isn't direct. Some of this is, inflammation of this and that and whatnot. But I know, like for me personally, eating a lot of sugar and coffee makes me pretty moody and irritated. And then, things kind of go downhill from there. So that list is quite extensive. Okay, hidden sugars. Be label detectives. They can say anything that they want on the front. It's advertising. They're, hooking into people want to see more fiber, and so it'll say 8 grams of whole grains used. However, when you look on the label and it still has less than 1 gram of fiber that it's providing you, fiber happens to be what helps you counteract sugar intake to kind of keep your blood sugar level. How does that make any sense? So you really have to get the box off the shelf. The Kellogg Heart Healthy stuff. Those are one of the most unhealthy and actually have maybe more sugar than Fruit Loops, if you're just considering sugar, based on making things taste good. So look on the labels. They cannot lie on the labels, but they can make words. You just need to Google. You got a smartphone, Google what that stuff is. And a big hint, if the ingredients list is small, like grape nuts, and you can pronounce all of it, eat it. And artificial sweeteners are a big no-no. They are completely unhealthy and they don't do anything for us. So work to get rid of those ASAP. Like if anybody is drinking diet soda, terrible for you, terrible for your health. Okay, what's a healthy sugar? Honey, coconut crystals, you can read here. Agave can raise your triglycerides for some folks, so that's why I put it at the bottom. I spent years and years and years kind of just getting away from the sweet. So instead of kind of trying to find, healthy substitutes and whatnot, I changed my diet in such a way that I wasn't eating sweet. In my smoothies, I didn't put juice in there. I just put water. So I got used to the taste of the natural foods, and that helped with long-term getting rid of sugar cravings and my kind of habitual need for sweet. Okay. How else can we feed our bodies? So we talked earlier about lack of self-love and whatnot. So sometimes what we eat is a replacement for other things we're not doing. Yoga and meditation are really good kind of calming down things. And when we're stressed out, our body is wanting to calm down. And sugar kind of has that effect on a physiological level, not, as a kind of brain thing. But exercise is really good. Drinking water. If you want a candy bar, just go and drink some water first, or maybe drop some fresh squeezed lemon in it and drink that and see how you are. Movement, being in nature, eating really healthy foods. A lot of the times I tell my clients, pretend that you're that newborn baby that you're in charge of and feed yourself how you would feed that baby. Okay, moving on. I'm going to switch topics here just a little bit. So make sure if anybody has any questions, go ahead and post them. And hey, Don, how are you? Raise your hand. Can you find your hand? So we need to talk about the liver. I like to talk to my clients about the liver. He's in charge of cleaning. We're going to go just into a little bit with him. I do a whole lecture on the liver. The liver is fascinating, but I like to talk about the liver as our aquarium filter. He does a lot of functions. Very involved in cleaning the blood and regulating. He does just a whole bunch of stuff. Does a lot of filtering. So I like to talk about him as the aquarium filter. And we want our aquarium filter clean. We want the fish and the water to be nice and clean, not smelly. So this is what we want. But through our daily fast lives, there are so many things that kind of lead to a liver not working very well. Alcohol, eating a lot of sugar, a lot of fatty foods can really slow down the liver and junk it up. And so our aquarium filter doesn't work so well. And our aquarium starts to be a little smelly, work a little less optimally. We get we could deal with side effects of it and we kind of move on. Your skin gets some acne, not clear. Maybe your eyes aren't that clear. We might start getting some PMS, fertility issues. It's a darn shame that when a woman goes in and complains about PMS, that they aren't talking about, is your liver clean? The liver clean is a huge component in dealing with excess hormones and whatnot. It's not that simple, but it's a huge thing. And then if we don't pay attention to the liver and the liver gets completely junked up, the fish die, you toss them down the toilet. So here's what the liver does. Cleanses the blood, removes toxins from the bloodstream. You can see that handy dandy little picture down there. Processes nutrients from food. So if your liver's not working very well and everything's kind of backed up and you're constipated and food's running through there really slowly, how much nutrients are you actually getting from your food? And he builds proteins. He's also involved with energy production, which is huge. So a lot of people, when they do the smoothie that I'm going to talk about and get their liver a little bit cleaner and working better, one of the first things they notice is they feel just that much better and their face clears up because your liver's working better. And it should be empowering to you to know that the liver will regenerate itself every 6 weeks. As your body is constantly taking the nutrients in and the cells are constantly replacing themselves, repairing, rebuilding. And the time frame for your liver is 6 weeks. Your skin is about 3 days. Your bones and your entire body will be brand new every 18 months. So the clean eating idea the things that you learn from the clean eating challenges and whatnot, those are long-term lifestyle changes that, if you have a medical issue that you're working with, be patient. Let your body heal itself. It takes a little bit of time. Benefits of supporting the liver: awesomeness, glowing skin, digestion, better sleep, dealing with hormones, mental clarity, blood sugar balance, weight management. So in this, you can get this idea of where we can eat cleaner, drop pounds, drop the sugar cravings, and everything's just working so much better. So back to sugar cravings. Ways to kick the sugar cravings. So when you feel the urge to reach for some candy and whatnot, here's 3 simple things that you can do. Eat a healthy, high-protein meal. I was chomping on almonds and blueberries put together, and it was really fun and awesome. I got it from Target, one of those little quick meals, and it was good stuff. Eat foods that are rich in vitamin Bs. Vitamin Bs help us with stress and help us to feel good with energy production. So I don't know how many of you know about fermented foods. Yogurt is a fermented food, has probiotics in it. Fermented foods is really good for you. Drink coconut water, which is loaded with minerals, helps with electrolyte imbalance and balancing the blood sugar. The other thing that I would challenge you when you're reaching for sugar is ask yourself, why are you doing it? Are you actually hungry? Are you stressed? Do you need a pick-me-up? Do you need some water? So think about that. This smoothie is from a book from a Dr. Meecher Ray. She is a super crazy smart doctorate person, bioengineering type. And this was from her book called Do You Have the Guts to Be Healthy? And it's talking about this smoothie that cleans the liver out, and you have a much clearer face, but the health benefits are outstanding. One of the side effects of this smoothie is that it takes your sugar cravings away. It might take a week or 2, but drinking this smoothie every day is phenomenal. The kale, you can see here, nourishes the liver, and kale is one of the superfoods, super nutrient dense, green. Has ground flaxseed in it, so highly anti-inflammatory, a source of omega-3, which is your number 1 anti-inflammatory aid, and helps with keeping the liver clean and functioning well. Milk thistle is a plant, a weed, and you can get it. You can get it in pills. I use it in a dropper and put it in my smoothies. Milk thistle helps to keep the liver clean and nourishes it. So you can find that smoothie on my website, and I will add a link to it in the email that you get with this recording. It tastes good. If you don't like the taste of kale, or you're buying organic kale, which it happens to be more peppery and a stronger taste, just put a strong fruit in there, like some frozen mango or pineapple. Pineapple's really good, strong flavor. And if you don't like the taste of the kale, it'll make it super wonderful. Stick some honey in there, some protein powder. Good stuff. So, did I mention that smoothie will take your sugar cravings away? It's that easy. It's completely that easy. Don't skip the kale, milk thistle, flaxseed, 2 weeks, and you'll be completely astounded. I hear so many awesome things about that smoothie. My hands and feet are warmer. I'm sleeping better. I'm dropping weight. Go try it. I dare you. So many people experience nutrient deficiencies that lead to blood sugar imbalances. So we need to feed our bodies in order to help our body kind of deal with things better. We need protein. We need clean protein. A lot of us aren't getting enough protein. Getting clean versions of protein mixes. I personally use the Juice Plus Complete Protein, but you can use whatever you want. Just make sure that they taste good, and you don't have to add a lot of sugar in order to mask the taste of them. That's like the big thing with protein powders. They taste like junk, so then you have to add stuff in, maybe unhealthy stuff, in order to mask the taste. So this last note, chromium, is a nutrient that helps regulate blood sugar. I try to get things from food and not have like a zillion pills. So here's listing where you can kind of get that. So spinach is a good thing, etc. Okay. So have you been feeling blue? We're coming out of the winter months, so I'm sure that we're getting a little bit more sunshine and we feel a little bit better. So, we might tend to eat more sugar during the winter just because we're not getting enough sunshine, fresh air, and whatnot. And this tryptophan, found in turkey, it helps with serotonin and whatnot. So something to think about, and the natural sources of that: turkey, eggs, kefir, which is a fermented yogurt type thing, yogurt, nuts, and seeds. Pumpkin seeds, excellent. Okay. One of the biggest philosophies when I'm doing health coaching and nutritional coaching with folks is crowding stuff in. Not necessarily worrying about limiting this and doing this and doing this, but crowding stuff in. I'm pro coffee, but also drink more water. Or, put coconut oil in your coffee and sweeten your coffee with honey. So crowding good stuff in instead of concentrating on taking stuff out. We can get into this habit of taking stuff out, and then we get feeling like we're deprived and we're not nurturing ourselves, and things kind of go astray from there. So think about crowding good stuff in. What can you do with your scrambled eggs to crowd good stuff in? I put ground flaxseed, or I'll put a bunch of vegetables in there. I like couscous in my scrambled eggs now, or my breakfast burritos. I'll stuff some quinoa or couscous in. So how do you find these little moments where you can, crowd good stuff in? Nourishing the soul. Ayurveda is a system in the East of addressing, it's kind of a medical system where a lot of herbal stuff, yoga is in there, meditation is in there. And within the Ayurveda system, we talk about energy and different components of your body, as far as if you stress out all the time, you're running yourself ragged, and it's one type of energy, and you don't have much to counterbalance that. Yoga is slower most of the time. Meditation is slower. It cools down this stressful life. So kind of nourishing this the soul, this idea is talking about if we stop and do some self-care, sometimes the sweet cravings go away because we're eating sugar or other things because we're not really taking care of ourselves in certain ways. So, maybe try, journaling or having a warm cup of tea. One of my favorite things, and this sounds kind of counterintuitive, but I like playing on this game. It's a Lumosity. It's just a brain game, but I like doing certain things on it, and it kind of calms me down. So I drink a cup of tea and do that every morning and sit and meditate, or I draw and write in my journal. So those kind of activities surprisingly can help you with, not reaching for that diet soda or whatnot, or to help kind of satisfy yourself. Okay, simple strategies. Eat 6 small meals a day. Keep your blood sugar, food combining. Put protein and carbs together to help blood sugar stay level throughout the day. If you're crashing at about 2 or 3, you really need to think about some of these strategies and changing this up. Or if you're an athlete and you're bonking on the bike at mile 36 or whatever, you got to think about how you can keep your blood sugar more even. Cinnamon is a huge thing on helping to control your blood sugar. So if you were eating oatmeal in the morning, or cinnamon is really good in your smoothies too. So cinnamon's one of those little known secrets for controlling blood sugar. And if you can keep your blood sugar in check, the weight will come off, because your insulin, working with your insulin tells the fat to come in and out of the cells. So if you can keep your blood sugar right, then your body's like, oh, I'm super awesome, and I can let this fat go, and I can drop some of this weight, because it knows that you're feeding itself well. Healthy snack options. Your body needs the right fuel instead of crashing and burning. Some of these are really good. This raw cocoa butter, raw coconut pudding, chia pudding. If you try some of these recipes, I have a lot of this in the clean eating program. But you can Google them and they're all over the place. Smoothies. If you need a little bit of crunch with your smoothies, eat some almonds with your smoothie. Banana with peanut butter or almond butter is fabulous. I personally like apples and peanut butter. Avocado is excellent, like on some good toast. Avocado straight's excellent. So some of these are good, healthy options for, getting in natural good sugar instead of sugar that's not all that great for you. Okay, let's look at some of the results that you'll see when you work on kicking this sugar habit. You're going to release stubborn weight. You're going to have a lot of energy. You're going to feel really good, and your teeth are going to be better because you're not eating so much sugar, and you're going to get sick less. Your hormones are going to balance itself out. You'll maybe experience less PMS. I usually do. That's super awesome. Your digestion will improve. So look at this list, though. What would it be for you if you had more energy throughout the day? I mean, what would that mean for you? Wouldn't have to drag yourself to the gym, or would you bebop into the gym, listen to your tunes, and you feel mighty awesome? What would it mean to you if your hormones were more in balance? What would it mean to you if you or if your family wasn't getting sick as much? What would it mean if you could remember what you were going into a room for and didn't have to walk back and be like, oh yeah, that's what I was in there for? So, I just want to touch real quick on a clean eating program. You hear detox this, detox that. When I work with my health coaching clients and whatnot, I always emphasize a gradual approach, meaning more lifestyle changes instead of this harsh kind of lickety split. We didn't learn anything, kind of the fad diet idea. Good clean eating programs will have you eating food, not drinking a bunch of water or drinking lemon juice for days and days. Reducing the stuff that's common sense that wasn't around 100, 200 years ago. If your grandma didn't eat it, we probably shouldn't be eating it now. So, in a nutshell, that's what would be a good clean eating program. One that's gradual and allows your body to organically heal itself, give itself time, and that you learn and that you change. And I would add that you want a program or you want lifestyle changes that, if you're raising kids and whatnot, things that your kids would do too, so we can help the children perhaps change this epidemic that's going on with our children. Okay. So we can have some time for question and answer if anybody has any questions. Is there any questions out there? Are you guys still listening to me? I don't see any questions. So I'm going to email you the recording and a PDF of this and some other cool and awesome things. I wanted to thank you. Oh, I'm here, but I don't have. Hey, Jamie, how are you? Doctor told me to. More fiber. Eat more fiber. Why did he tell you to eat more fiber? You don't have to answer that. You can text me that. Yes, fiber is really important. How you would incorporate that into clean eating? I would basically say if you're chewing more, then that's as simple as it needs to get. So carrots, broccoli, things that you have to chew. There is more fiber in kale than baby spinach. You have to chew it more. Beets have a ton of fiber. You have to chew them puppies. You don't have to eat greens to get fiber. You can get a lot of fiber from your fruits and vegetables. Fiber is really important. It does a whole slew of things. You want the mix of fiber. You want soluble and insoluble fiber. Fiber is very important on keeping the intestinal tract clean and moving well. So that's why you want the mix. I hope that answered your question. If you eat more fiber and eat more fruits and vegetables, if that's the only two things that you did, you'd get more fiber and you'd get lower sugar. So, okay. Does anybody else have any more questions? And this was really quick. I ran through this. This is just a nutshell. I try to keep things simple. So I hope that you feel inspired to pick like maybe 2 or 3 things to work on. Think about, maybe a food that you're buying that you can stop buying and what's the alternative to buy it. So that was a silly question. Like I just said, it's not a silly question. The question is, how do you really start building these habits? I'll be completely honest with you. 10 years ago, when my children were really sick, my oldest had ADHD. He's thin, fly by the seat of his pants. My middle son had asthma, terrible crash and burn birth, and my youngest had colic and GERD, and it was terrible. And I weighed 210 pounds and couldn't run around the block. So we came from very unhealthy, and what we did was we just changed like 1 or 2 things every week or two. When I work with my health coaching clients, I work with them every 2 weeks and I give them homework, 3 things to do. And, you can write it on a sticky and stick it on the refrigerator, and it can be no more white bread, no more soda, definitely no more diet soda. So just pick like 3 habits, work on those 3 habits every day. The free smoothie challenge that I did, that was part of that. Take these smoothie recipes and crowd in a good smoothie every day. Learn the lessons from the recipes and, kind of mindfully bring that into the rest of your eating. If you're putting flaxseed into your smoothies, well, why not put flaxseed into your baking or your scrambled eggs? So that's how you make these changes, and then long term become very clean eating lifestyle changes. Remembering to do stuff. I write myself stickies all the time. If I don't want to eat something, I don't buy it. To remember how to do the like lemon juice in the morning, I keep the lemons on the counter. So when I see them in the kitchen, I'm like, oh, my Juice Plus that I, will forget to take because it's in its pill box, I have to leave it out. So if you like a kitchen that everything is put away, sometimes that won't work. But the things that I'm trying to get into a habit of, I just have to leave out in front of me. I might have to write myself a sticky and put it on my bathroom mirror. Do your neti pot every day after you swim, or the chlorine's going to jack up your nose. I have to write myself those notes. So that might be something that you can work on. Hey, Don, got your question. When I travel, I take the Juice Plus protein powder. It tastes good enough to drink it just straight in water. It doesn't have, a whole lot of other stuff in it. Sometimes when I travel, I actually take the smaller smoothie blender with me and try to find a Whole Foods. That's a little labor intensive. I don't know if you would do that. But those tiny little cheap ones at JCPenney's you can buy for $19 when they're on sale. You might just toss that into your bag, maybe. I don't know. Or just get a good protein, mix it in water, and try to eat, the fruits and stuff separately. So the other thing that I do when I'm traveling, it's easy to do this. It's getting easier because like there's Kind bars. Kind bars are pretty clean. Those are at the Quick Trip / gas stations now. So you just kind of look for the things that you can buy that are halfway clean. yes, I would say take out all dairy. Absolutely. Some people need to eat dairy, but if they're eating dairy, it needs to be clean dairy. But yes, I've been dairy free for, I don't know, 10 years. That was what my youngest son main problem was the protein from dairy. You're writing a sticky now. That's fabulous. I'm a sticky queen. I love it. It's one of my biggest health coaching aids. Stickies. Stickies are awesome. Get the stickies that like really make you happy, like the star stickies or the heart stickies. Those are super awesome. I leave one on my Mac. Every month I'm trying to develop new habits, and so like 3 things that I'm working on, I put them on my Mac. It's always in front of my face. That's how we make these habits stick. Okay. So I don't see any more questions. I am so excited and happy that you guys got on this call. And Dawn, even though I didn't hear your voice, I miss your face. So have a good one. I'll send this stuff out to you. If you have any questions, just email me or whatnot. So have a good evening, guys.